Well, let's start politics. And the opposition National Democratic Congress is demanding the immediate release of pastors and church members who were prosecuted for breaching COVID-19 safety protocols. Now, the party also argues delegates of the governing New Patriotic Party violated protocols in the full glare of the police during the party's last Saturday's primaries, yet no arrests were made. Communications officer of the NDC, Sammy Gyamfi, accused the president and the police service of selective application of the law. He spoke at the party's weekly briefing right here in the capital, Accra.
Pause by you in the media of how social distancing, wearing of face masks, and other critical COVID-19 preventive protocols were defied and thrown to the dogs as delegates congregated in their hundreds, mingled and interacted, including wild jubilations in the full glare of the police who are supposed to enforce the law. It is sad, cruel, and reprehensible for President Akufo-Addo, who promulgated the law, that is EI 64, which has led to the arrest, prosecution and imprisonment of pastors and other Ghanaians, to turn around and supervise the flagrant violation of the same law by his party officials and members with the impunity we saw during their Saturday parliamentary primaries. This, ladies and gentlemen, is unacceptable. This is abominable, particularly at a time church and mosque gatherings have been restricted to a maximum of 100 attendees and a duration of 1 hour. And at a time, Ghanaians who are found not to be wearing face masks are being subjected to all manner of degrading and inhumane treatments. The recklessness and lawlessness displayed by the NPP during their just ended parliamentary primaries, coupled with the selective application of the law on COVID-19 preventive protocols by our law enforcement agencies, make the imprisonment of pastors and Ghanaians who were convicted for breaching public gathering restrictions under EI 64 totally unjustifiable and unfair.
Mr. Sammy Gyamfi also alleged the NPP primaries were characterized by vote buying.
As you may be aware, the entire primaries was conducted in an environment where those who could afford the biggest pecuniary or monetary inducements carried the day. Huge amounts of money, I repeat, huge amounts of money. In some cases, 6,000 Ghana cedis per delegate, 5,000 Ghana cedis per delegate, 4,000 Ghana cedis per delegate, and so on, exchange hands in the full glare of the media. While material gifts such as refrigerators, flat screen televisions, motorbikes, tricycles, and other valuables were distributed to bribe and induce party delegates. Ladies and gentlemen, how a party which few years ago was begging for money from kayais and street hawkers, how a party which few years ago toured the world with a cup in hand begging for money, can afford this level of opulence and ostentation 3.5 years into coming into office, after coming into office, speaks volumes of the endemic corruption and thievery that has engulfed the Akufo-Addo government. Because certainly, the money we saw them distributing, the flat screens, the motorcycles, the cars, and other valuables we saw them distributing, is not money, they had before they came into office. Clearly, this is money they have made in the last 3.5 years. And that should give every well-meaning Ghanaian legitimate cause for concern, because they are the very people who few years ago, when they were in opposition, were struggling to pay their utility bills at their party headquarters. They were soliciting for funds from kayais. They went to China and other parts of the country with a bowl in their hand, led by Dr. Bawumia, begging for money. And so if today they can be distributing as much as 5,000 Ghana cedis per delegate and all these valuables, then we must ask them how they came by this wealth.